Hey guys, Omni here. We're about to dive back into Halo the series with episode 2. The first episode, I thought it was pretty solid overall. You know, I definitely have my concerns as a fan of the franchise and all that about some of the changes that they're making. But like I said before, this is its own timeline, this is its own thing, so I'm more than willing to see what they do and just kind of follow them on the journey they want to tell. Production wise, I thought it looked great. When I could see it, the Paramount Plus app, and I saw that it wasn't just me. A lot of people had some buffering issues. My bit rate was awful for like the first half of it, and I was like, is this my internet or Paramount Plus? And apparently it was Paramount Plus for most people. I'm glad I wasn't the only one, because I was a little concerned about that. But when I could see it, because we've seen a fair amount of the detail in the trailers, it looks great. I like the way that the Covenant is kind of designed, though why they have a human, I'm very perplexed by that. That is helping them, that they're willing to go along with that. But I really like how we saw High Charity. I like how we're seeing, like, we haven't really seen any of the other races outside of the Prophets and the Elites so far. So I'm curious to see when we'll kind of dive into a little more of that, get some variety in it. And I really want to kind of know the direction this is going to take from here, because we got this new artifact that is kind of signaling into Chief that helped him escape by sucking all the energy out of Reach and giving it to him to his ship, and then just up and darted away. Where are they going? I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of things that just kind of leave me like, what's going on? While it's sometimes like I'm a little confused, but I'm like, I don't know. Being off guard. I don't know what the hell they're doing with this story. So we're going to see and follow it through. And you know what? We'll see where it goes. But guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into things. So if you're part of 75% of people that watch the channel and you're not yet subscribed, I hope if you enjoy this reaction, by the end of it, you decide to hit that button. And if you want to see the full-length, unedited reaction to this, you can check that out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gives you access as well. It's just one of the ways you help support us over here, work towards kind of expanding the amount of reactions that we do, the quality of these videos, and all that goes back into the channel, of course, and I try to make it worth your while. We got a bunch of exclusive movie reactions that are over there that you actually get to make suggestions and then vote on what we add to that list each month. And then monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, since you are going out of your way to support the channel. But of course, I know not everybody can do that. And a simple way you can help us out is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, and help us combat the dreaded fleets of the YouTube algorithm. That all said and down the way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into episode 2. Here we go. 22 years ago. Mongoose.
Soren, where's your ditch bag?
I'm not going.
What are you talking about?
Can't let you go.
What changed your mind?
It appears that the firearm available to me at this moment is jammed. You've got 5 minutes. And then I'm waking up the entire camp.
Dang.
Yes, Silver Team is gearing up to bring in Master Chief peacefully.
And when we find the Master Chief, what does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
I am sure I can trust him. But to assuage any doubt, Admiral Parangoski and I have devised an insurance plan for the future.
Kai, Bannock, slipspace vector tracking on the Condor just came in. We won't have his exact location, but...
God, I love how heavy these things feel and sound, because they are. They're... But, like, I love it.
What's that sound?
Proximity alarm.
I love how chill he is. Then again, it's the training, man.
Everything dies.
I love the sound design outside of the cockpit. He's probably going to meet. Well, I don't know. Did he control where they jumped at all, or did it take him here? Is what I'm kind of confused about. But we saw that flashback in the beginning, so I'm assuming that he's gonna bump into Soren. Yeah, this ain't shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your weapons down. John here wanted you dead. You'd be dead.
Hello, Soren.
Look at you.
Soren, this is Kwan. I'm looking for a place for her.
You're the one that they just issued a bounty for.
UNSC's offering a bounty?
UNSC.
Damn.
Apparently, the UNSC's preferred replacement didn't just take your father's office. He's cleaning house, offering cash for your head.
Wait, why do both sides want her dead? I didn't get that bit. Because it sounded like the person that replaced her father, the way he described it, was put in place by the UNSC. Maybe it's because she's the daughter of the previous leader of that resurgence group or insurgent group. But I don't think line of succession matters in those sorts of organizations. I probably just understood that wrong. Or maybe I heard it perfectly fine. But let me know, please.
Got a whole rock to myself.
Wow, that looks safe. It was rocking off the track. That does seem like a good design.
Hey! This little guy's name is Kessler.
You have a child?
John, Soren speaks of you so often.
Not that often, my dear. Not that often.
How did Soren like survive all the conditioning? Or just he seems like his personality is completely intact. Blessed one. Yeah, this is the John takes his helmet off in the games, in the books. But like I think this is the biggest divergence from the games and the lore, is them even like tolerating a human at all, let alone working with one and allowing one to talk back like that.
Actually, Admiral Parangoski and I have been ahead of this for some time. I've developed a new system which will solve John's current issues. Cortana will do something similar for their minds. It will overwrite Spartan consciousness and replace it with our artificial general intelligence.
Oh, that's way more nefarious than it actually is. So it would, she's meant to like override his brain and just kind of take him over.
She represents the sum total of every available data point. The intelligence of the galaxy, in essence.
Can't just replace his mind. We are talking about a person.
John is much more than a person. He is a Spartan.
Didn't you author a paper about a hypothetical artificial general intelligence that could interface directly with humans?
Yes, I authored several.
And didn't that process depend on biological substrates derived from the illegal practice of flash cloning humans?
Oh, we've been doing that for a long time. That's how we stole these kids.
Have you found a way around that?
Oh, no.
Let's get Master Chief back and put this mess behind.
Is is this Forerunner technology gonna free Cortana of her, like, roboticism? Restore her humanity? Otherwise, it's like John versus Cortana, the way they're setting things up right now. Again, another divergence, man. We'll see how it plays.
I lost my whole family when I was just a little younger than you are now. Lost my whole planet to the Covenant. Everyone I love until I met Thorin. You want revenge. I want justice. Revenge and justice are easy to confuse.
Yeah. Fair point.
Who are you?
I'm trying to figure a few things out.
Like, what's in that box? Treatments, Joe. What they did to us, it's only permanent if we choose to let it be. Don't matter how long it had you.
Kessler?
What's this?
You should be honored, man. It means he can count on you and you can count on him.
Thank you, Kessler. I accept.
Thank you, Kessler. I accept. Man, you are a stiff one, Joe.
Like, he's trying to figure things out. It's interesting because he really is so robotic in every sense of the way.
Are you getting this?
Yes. Sensor plot has the Condor dropping out of slip space inside an asteroid belt.
It makes no sense.
She seems to be pondering a lot of things, more so than the other two. So I'm curious what that's about. You think maybe the wave from this thing altered all of them?
You didn't drag this thing halfway across the galaxy because it's pretty. What does it do?
It powered his ship.
Mm.
It worked for him.
I know a guy. Guy's name is Wrath. He got taken into a Covenant ship and lived to talk about it. He's seen things. He knows things.
Impressive. Getting captured by the Covenant and getting out.
Rubble is a haven for people who don't fit in anywhere else. I'm talking about a whole other deal. Mystics. Guys like Wrath, they're swimming in the cosmic river.
So he's insane.
He's sensitive. Hanging out with the aliens will change you, bro.
Why are they in cages? Are they just so high they can't be trusted to roam free? What the fuck?
When I was a guest on their ship, they asked to see if I could make them work, but I could not. I'm not a blessed one.
What's a blessed one?
Human, only more so. You don't want to help the Covenant destroy us, do you?
No.
Then you need to get rid of this thing.
Good.
Oh! He was going to smash it, but John caught it out of instinct.
John.
John is a blessed one.
You bring it to life. But you are different than the one they have.
What am I?
What am I?
What the fuck? Ho!
You made it produce the ring
That's what they want. What is that ring? A door.
To what?
A bigger ring.
You felt it, didn't you? The darkness. Yes. That means you can stop it.
How did he get this much information from being a prisoner that wasn't able to do all of this? Just overhearing them talk about how it should work? Does he speak Sangheili? Did they speak in English to him? This whole sequence was weird as fuck, man.
I need you to keep her here. Can I trust you?
Of course you can
Then
trust
keep her
me.
safe.
Are we done with Kwan? Or are they going to circle back into the plot in some way later? Oh, he turned on his beacon.
I felt something. I've been going over and over in my head.
I don't think that's a constructive place for us to go. I think we should focus on the lab results.
No, he would like to talk about what he's seen. Stop shutting him down.
But you've seen so many people die. Why was the situation any different?
Well, I don't think the situation was different. I think I am different. I feel connected to something. I don't know what it is or why it chose me, but I know it's out there. I can feel it.
Sister. What are they doing?
There's no one else I could trust.
You made the right choice.
Except she wants to shut down everything you're thinking about right now. Unless that was just to save face with the board.
We're gonna do great things together.
All right. All right. There we go. That's another one down. They're really doing everything they can to set this apart from the core timeline of the games. There's so much things from Cortana. Not so much how she's created or anything like that, but definitely her purpose is a little more malevolent here. And the way they treat the Spartans is also a lot different. You know, I mean, they've always been treated as weapons, as, you know, pieces of machinery in war. But Halsey did always think of them as more than that. However, this version, she's like, yeah, that's cool. He's a little defective, so we need to shut that down. Like, where Cortana was not meant to be like a system that controlled the Spartans in the games. Is meant to be a companion. You know, she's there to enhance, improve the response times, do calculations for them in their head, help increase the speed of their thinking, the reactions, give them live intel on site by being plugged directly into their suit, which is interfaced with their mind. You know, is meant to be a guide to just enhance them, improve them. The way she's being described here is as a means of control, like removing any of that humanity that might be left in there from them. Just plug in, and now she's controlling a human meat suit effectively. So That's very different. I'm curious to see how that's going to go, because the way things are set up so far with Chief starting to feel things, and this whole feeling things was not really done in this manner previously, so it's definitely interesting to see how them take that approach way more literally than it ever was before. And again, that makes me just wonder, what is Cortana and John's relationship going to be here? Because it already cannot be what it was before. So it just makes me seem like they're kind of already putting them against each other. And we've already had this artifact awaken the sleeping questions, feelings, memories, and stuff like that have been dormant in his head. So what avenue is that going to leave for Cortana when she's introduced? Which I'm assuming probably next episode was when we'll see her there. I don't know. I'm really perplexed as to what they're doing. And as much as I've said, like, I want to divorce myself from the games, just let them tell the story they're telling, I'm very confused by the way they've parsed out the story so far, because it seems a little all over the place, a little rushed. It's not all making sense, from this Blessed One concept to the memories and him being drawn to another. I was like, they're not like implying that the woman that's being kept with the Covenant is like related to Chief, are they? And then we have that moment where it cuts to, I guess, his father, like, talking to him directly. Is this going to be some kind of, like, he was, even before he was a Spartan, he was some kind of special experiment designed to communicate with Forerunner technology? I don't know what they're trying to imply. It's like, it's just odd. And then that whole scene on the rubble planet, that asteroid planet colony, where they went into that, like, crack den and saw that one dude who had previously been captured by the Covenant. I was just like, this is so strange. Especially that he was able to glean that much information from being a prisoner on their ship and escaping, especially a prisoner that was not able to do what that they needed. He wasn't able to activate this technology at all. He wasn't a Blessed One, but he was able to glean so much philosophy from that experience, which is surprising. Because one, I think I mentioned this in the reaction. Why were they speaking English around him? Does he know their languages? Because, I mean, I guess it's possible for them to learn it, but I don't know to extent to which he would have had exposure to that. Miranda, being an expert in alien research, that being her primary focus here, she's studying Sangheili, so that would make sense if she could. I don't know. There's just a lot. The way that exposition was parsed out was just odd. And I know they needed a reason for I think they just needed a reason for Chief to activate the monolith again. Soren's cool, though. He seems like a cool guy. I guess, again, that just like, is based on a character that's in the books who's pretty interesting. Because, I recognize the name. I believe he's in Pariah, from Halo Evolutions. Was that a book, or was that I think that was that animated? I can't remember. Hold on. I just want to look it up real quick. Soren, Halo. Actually, Halo Evolutions. I think that was a collection of short stories. Yeah. That was a novel. It was a bunch of short stories in the Halo universe. Yeah, I was like, I thought this was a book. For whatever reason, when I saw the title Halo Evolutions, when I remembered that, Halo Legends, that's what I was getting them mixed up with in my head. I was like, wait a second. But yeah, Soren's an interesting character, and seeing him pulled into here is interesting, especially as like a kind of like a foil to Chief at the moment. The Spartan whose training didn't stick, I guess. And he was able to cut out these chemical inducers that are still in their bodies that are impeding their ability to feel certain things. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I'm just like, how did that work? How was he able to get away? How was he able to not be controllable back then in the way that the others weren't? I know not all of it was all experimental, so like, who knows? Maybe his stuff was defective and he wasn't able to be controlled or suppressed as much as like the others. Again, diverging in the way that the Spartans were actually handled and raised and treated from the main canon to this as well. So it's like, it's hard, man. As someone who's like been steeped in everything from the show, from the game timeline, it's like I struggle to reconcile this, and maybe somebody that has no connection to this at all might feel completely different about this. I'm trying to separate myself from that, but it's just like every decision is like makes me just question the intent and the direction behind it. Like, where is this going? Because they're setting up these very alien concepts that like I have no like parallel to that I can draw. And it also seemed like unnecessary with Chief just going back to them anyway to have this side plot with the girl and then going to Soren and all this stuff. Like, it just seemed like if we were just going to wind up right back where we were, did we have to have this John going rogue plot at all? You know, because we could have just streamlined that, had Cortana come in, have her kind of be the moral compass between the two of them, and preserve that dynamic that I really like. But I don't know. We'll see. Because it's really pitting Chief against the UNSC right now. And I don't know why. It's just weird because it feels oddly paced. Some of the story progression's a little disjointed. Where's this storyline with what's going on Madrigal with the girl and Soren? What's that going to build into? How's that going to come into the Covenant aspect of the story, or is this just going to be a B plot in the background? I don't think that's efficient as far as storytelling goes. I think I'd be perfectly fine if we just like never revisited that character at this point, because we need I don't know what that contributes to the overall thing other than being the instigator for Chief's humanity, for his motivation to question orders when he's told to kill this kid. That I'm fine with. Like, I do think that John would, even in the main canon, would have an issue with just executing a kid for no good reason. Because he had his quandaries. He did things his own way. He was the wild card when it came to Spartans. Like, he would always get the mission done, but he would do it in a way that didn't affect his morals. And I that's one of the things I really admired about Chief in like the main canon, But in this, he doesn't really have those morals. They've been destroyed. They've been wiped out of his mind. He's suppressed his memories of his family and all that. His past has been suppressed, whereas that was kind of exposed to them before, and they knew the importance of what they were doing. And they're like, the flash cloning comment, because I don't know, who knows, maybe they changed that here too. But the flash cloning comment, when they kidnap these children, they would pick out like their prime subjects that they would like to try to put through this program, because I think it was like 75% were going to die in the experimentations. It was the fatality rate was immensely high. So they would have to screen people that would be most capable of surviving it. John was deemed one of these people, and what they would do if they would deem you a promising candidate for the procedure, they would just kidnap the kid and leave a flash clone of them that is designed to waver and die. Flash clones, I believe, are temporary anyway. They're short-term clones. and they're left in place of the child. So that goes home. The clone goes home with the family. A couple weeks later, they get sick and die. So the family doesn't know to look for the kid or anything like that. So they don't really have much to go home to at that point either at this, when they would go through all of this. So, but I don't know. There's some focuses on the father in this and what he's drawing. And for whatever reason, he's drawn this artifact in his past as a kid. I don't know what's going on. But I like everything that looks Halo. Again, I think the production design, the CGI, the art direction, all of that's fantastic. The sound design's really good. I even like the score in this. And I do like the performances so far. I do think everything's on the technical level has been really good with the show, outside of, I think it's got some weird pacing problems, and the story right now is really disjointed. So I think that's where I'm kind of really getting held up. And then, like I said, being a fan of the games, and I've seen this from a lot of people, it's just like they are very much so just disregarding so many core elements from all of that. I definitely understand why people are upset. And I do want to see this through. Like, I might sound like I might be too negative about this right now, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the show. I'm just so confused because of what I know and how this contradicts what I know. So I'm just like, wow. So half the time I'm just really just put aback by some of the choices, because the way the story is unfolding, I also don't understand those choices just yet. So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, we're adapting this thing. We know we don't have to be beholden to the games, but it's giving me that feeling that we see with most video game films, in that they don't trust the audience to understand the world as it is. And so we need these analogs, we need these gateways, we need these things explained to us in different ways that we might be able to relate from what we've seen in other media. So it's just like this thing, like in fucking Sonic. Like, we couldn't just have a Sonic movie that takes place, and I don't get me wrong, I liked Sonic the movie. I did. I love it. But it had my little nitpick or pet peeve that I have with animated adaptations, live action adaptations of like animated or video game source material, where they need to inject like a certain level of contemporariness into it for us to understand what's going on in this world, rather than trusting the audience to just accept the world as it is. You know, we went into Lord of Rings and we're like, oh, we were just put there and we understood it all just fine as is. We didn't need to like, oh, well, a person from our world got sucked into this mystical world and now it's got to be explained in full to them. Or we have animated characters who are video game characters, so let's just inject a bunch of humans to be our analogs to the insanity of this for the people that might not just be willing to accept it. Like, it's just one of those things where I feel like the studio or whoever, the writers, think we're dumb. Too dumb to accept things as they were originally designed. So we're kind of having things remolded in a way that just feels weird and doesn't make any sense to me right now. But we're only 2 episodes in, and I am open to seeing where they go with this. Like I said, I want to see the story they're going to tell, and right now we're in the very beginning, and I think it's pretty messy. It's pretty messy so far. For something that's an 9 episode season, something of the sort, it's already, I feel like we're already not very streamlined just yet. Which makes me wonder what all we're going to accomplish in season 1. I know they've already changed showrunners for season 2. Because season 2 I think has already been greenlit, but they changed showrunners. I know this went through a lot of production hell, and you know, they talked about we learned a lot on season 1. So I feel like this is going to be one of those seasons that's probably going to be a little shaky, maybe a lot of cracks in the way it came together because of how long it took to develop this. And who knows? Maybe season 2 will be really where it gets the footing in, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I love everything that looks Halo. I love everything as far as the way this show looks and it's put together. It's just right now, I'm not that invested in the story, to be honest. And this one didn't have much action in it, so it didn't have anything to really kind of keep me engaged, other than when I was puzzled by all of the revelations that came through this episode. Man, I don't like being negative, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being honest about how I feel about it, man. Both as a fan and as just an amateur critic of this sort of thing, I just feel like it was not, I don't know, it just feel very oddly structured. And I just think the story decisions so far, I don't feel actually serve the story. I think so far, a lot of them detract from what they're trying to do. Where it was actually done way better in the games, the books that exist. Anyway, guys, what did you think of this episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. We will be following through, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the season rounds out, because right now, like I said, we are just in the beginning. So who knows? These threads could set up something greater, and we just can't see the forest through the trees just yet. So we'll give it a chance. But feel free to join our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. Links to that on the socials in the description box below. If you want to see the full-length unedited reaction to this, you can check it out in full length over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. Speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Benny, Share, Ryan, Karen, Philly, Vane, Yori, Corey, Scott, Margaret, Grace, Mary, Bradley, Nate, Proudy, and Melita. Thank you guys, as always, for your continued support. And everybody who's tuning in here for this series, hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, hope you subscribe and stick around. We got more reactions coming for you guys. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you all next week with the next episode of Halo. Take care, everybody.